So now that you've built a beautiful diagram, it's time to share it with others or use it in a presentation. Here's what you need to know about presenting your diagram, which you can get to from the editor with the top right button here. First, some important logistics. Who can access this presentation? Well, you can always see your own diagram, of course, but it's entirely up to you who else gets to see it. When it's private, only you have access. But when you're ready to share your diagram, you can open access to your teammates. They can either go directly to that URL that you share with them, or they can discover it in their console under their team section. If you want to share your diagram with someone who doesn't have a TerraStruct account, maybe with someone outside of your org like a consulting client, then you can set your diagram sharing settings to public and optionally password protected. Even if it's publicly available, it doesn't mean it's discoverable. Viewers still need the unique ID of the diagram. For enterprise customers, you can also customize an IP range. When a user goes to your diagram, their entry point is the root board, which by default is titled Overview, but you can name it to anything you want. If you want to share a specific board with someone, just copy-paste the URL. The hash at the end will make that board their entry point. And so if we want to share a specific board here, and you copy-paste this URL, when I refresh, it goes straight to that board. Your viewers can navigate the diagram in many ways. The most obvious here that I've already shown is the sidebar, where they can click around. In a type of diagram where you want to explain something sequentially, let's go to this one, you may find that using arrow keys to be more convenient. So I'm just pressing left and right on my keyboard. And finally, when you have portals in your diagram, clicking on one will land you into another board. More on that in another video. Some diagram settings only show up in presentation mode. For example, the hand-drawn style, which you can toggle on in the editor or as the owner of the diagram in the presentation itself. Animated transitions you've already seen, and that's another presentation setting that makes the jump from board to board a little smoother, a little less sudden. So here's what it looks like without that. And when we turn it on, that's what it looks like. The tooltip visibility setting is one that's available for all users. You can add tooltips in the editor, which viewers will then see this little icon indicating that a tooltip is there for them to hover over. Or they can just turn on this setting here that shows all the tooltips. This is also nicely mapped to the hotkey T. And speaking of hotkeys, all the diagram options here have hotkeys assigned to them. So pressing X will toggle the sidebar, and F will enter full screen. Let's say you're presenting your diagram to an audience or to clients or sharing something confidential that you don't want people to take screenshots of. All of these are great use cases for watermarks. You can set watermarks from the editor and specify a variety of options for how you want it to appear and how prevalent you want them to be. The watermark will only be visible in presentation mode, and so right now we're in editor mode and it won't disturb you when you're editing, but when we go and click present, as you can see, the watermark appears on every board. If you'd like to embed your diagram on a website, like a blog or wiki, the process is like sharing a YouTube video. You can access the settings and go to Share and Embed, and just copy-paste this iframe code to wherever you want it to embed to. And then just change these dimensions to also whatever you want. And for examples of this in action, you can visit TerraStruct's example page, where all of these examples are actually embedded right on the website itself. That's all for now. In the next video, I'll show you how you can link boards together into external resources for some truly amazing diagrams.